Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to export assessments from Schoology. Now Schoology uses many different types of materials that we've used in our classes over the last few years. Today we're only going to be looking at assessment types. So each material type has its own way of ensuring that we save it from Schoology that we'll go over in the future, and I'll send this out to you. But for today we're only going to be talking about assessment types, so the test and quiz and the assessment logos that you see here. Our first step is going to be to save your assessments to Schoology resources. Schoology will only let you export assessments after they've been moved to the resources section of Schoology. Usually at the top we click on courses, but there's also resources at the top, and that's where we first need to move all of our materials, our assessments. So the first way, you can organize your Schoology materials and then export specific folders. This option gives you the opportunity to export only the materials that you want to. This will make things less confusing for you in the future because you'll only be working with the assessments you want to keep. So to do this, we're going to click on the gear wheel next to a material folder in our class or a material itself, and we're going to click on Save to Resources. So we're clicking on the green spot and then the orange spot, Save to Resources. Option 2 is you can save your entire course to resources all at once. So this option is going to back up everything from your entire course in one click. Be mindful, this may cause things to be confusing later or cause conversion tools to break when you're converting assessments because assessments are saved within too many folders. So you may want to reorganize all these materials later. I would also be hesitant to use this approach if you've done this already with the same class because you're going to end up with the same folders again and again. But if you've only ever taught a course once in Schoology, or if you're sure that that course has everything that you need in it and there's nothing else, this is a nice fast method of exporting everything to resources. To do this, we would click on Options while on the Materials tab, and then click on Save Course to Resources. Step 2. We've moved everything into Resources. Now we need to move it from Resources out of Schoology. So to do this, we're first going to click where I've circled in red at the top of your screen. So that's Resources on Schoology. Then on the top left of your screen, you're going to see this drop-down arrow in green, and then you're going to click on Export. Once you click on Export, it's going to open up a little window that's going to show you all of the different folders that you have in your Resources section. So it's going to look like this. Now, in this drop-down, you're going to see the names of every folder that you have. So if you look at the right in blue, those ones are the actual folders in my resources, and then that's what they look like on this screen here. If you notice, there's this little dash dash and then other examples. So that's a folder that's within this folder above it. So inside of this folder here, there's another folder called Other Examples. Now, be cautious of this approach because you may, if you backed up your course and you did it multiple times, you're going to have many folders with the same name. So it's going to be helpful to move these backups first before we export them out. It's pretty easy to move folders around. I suggest clicking on Add Resources, Add Folder, and add a folder called Schoology Assessments Export. And then if you want to move anything to it, all you need to do is do a check next to it if you're going to do multiple. And at the top, we can click on Edit, Move To, and then select that new folder that we made. You can also click on the gear wheel next to an assessment or a test or quiz, and select Move To here as well. Use this option to move and organize your assessments. And you can see these are the assessments that I've moved in here, and they're ready to be exported. Step 3, go to your transfer history and download the IMSCC file. That is the export of your Schoology information. Once you start this transfer, you're going to see this banner appear at the top of your screen. You can click in the blue where I've circled, and that'll bring you right to your list. You'll also get an email notification once it's ready for you to download. Once it's ready, you're going to click on the gear wheel in green and then click Download in orange. Choose a spot on your computer where you want to organize your Schoology exports. I recommend making a folder just for your IMSCC files and another folder for anything else that you'd like to transfer out. After you click on Download, you'll get this file that is now yours on your computer to back it up. You don't have to worry about losing or anything like that. You will have that file. I recommend putting it into Google Drive so you have it for safekeeping as well. But keep in mind, this transfer page is limited. It will eventually time out and you'll need to export things again. So make sure as soon as you export something, when it says that it's ready, go as soon as you can to download it because it will time out. All right, now what? So you've exported all of your assessments from Schoology. So what does the future look like? Well, the first solution is a product called GetMarked. GetMarked is something that we're going to be paying for a year that's going to give you the ability to take your Schoology files and convert them into other assessment types. So to give you some examples, GetMarked will allow you to turn a Schoology assessment or test or quiz into a Google form, or you can bring it into Wayground and you can turn it into different assessment types there. To give you other ideas of using GetMarked, you can also log into your Edpuzzle account and convert every Edpuzzle that you've used in the past into a Wayground video assessment. You can convert Kahoots into Wayground. You can convert Google Docs, Microsoft Word files, PDFs, all sorts of different things you can bring into GetMarked and then convert them into Google Forms or Wayground assessments. Again, the things that we covered today only apply to test, quiz, and assessment. The other types of materials from Schoology will each have their own way of backing them up and exporting them out of Schoology before our due date in July. Please refer to this infographic that I made that you'll have access to in the future as well to ensure that you're backing up and saving everything that you want to continue to use on Google Classroom from your Schoology courses. So that was covering how to export assessments from Schoology. I hope that helped. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you're confused and you need any support in this. Have a great day.